Sheldon Cooper, the socially awkward yet brilliant physicist from The Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon, has always been a central figure in his family's dynamic. However, when it comes to Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, Sheldon's presence, or rather, his absence, raises an interesting question. Given the timeline of Young Sheldon and The Big Bang Theory, where exactly was Sheldon during this important milestone in his older brother's life? Understanding the timeline. To properly place Sheldon, we need to establish the timeline of Georgie and Mandy's relationship and marriage. In Young Sheldon, Georgie and Mandy's relationship develops during the late 1990s. Mandy initially resists Georgie's advances due to their age gap, but after she becomes pregnant, they gradually develop a more stable relationship. Eventually, they decide to get married, marking an important moment in Georgie's life. Meanwhile, Sheldon's story during the late 1990s and early 2000s is well documented in both Young Sheldon and The Big Bang Theory. By the time Georgie and Mandy are getting married, Sheldon is likely deep into his academic career, a trajectory that took him away from his family for years. Sheldon's academic path, a timeline of his whereabouts. Sheldon's move to Caltech, 1998 to 1999. Sheldon started college at East Texas Tech when he was just 11 years old. By the time he was around 14 or 15, he was already earning his PhD. This means that by the time Georgie and Mandy's relationship reaches the marriage stage, Sheldon is likely at Caltech in Pasadena, California. Limited family visits. Given his personality, Sheldon isn't one to frequently visit home, unless absolutely necessary. He has always had a complicated relationship with his family. While he loves them in his own way, he often finds their interests and lifestyles baffling. Sheldon's social struggles and academic focus. Sheldon is not particularly emotionally in tune with his family's milestones. He often fails to recognize the significance of events like birthdays or weddings, unless directly told. Even in The Big Bang Theory, he struggles to grasp social obligations, unless someone like Leonard or Amy explains them to him. With all this in mind, it's quite plausible that Sheldon either didn't attend the wedding due to his commitments at Caltech, attended briefly, but didn't make a big impact, was completely unaware of the wedding until much later. Possible scenarios. Where exactly was Sheldon? Scenario 1. Sheldon skips the wedding due to research. Given Sheldon's love for science and his obsession with his work, he could have been deeply involved in a research project or academic endeavor at Caltech. It wouldn't be surprising if he considered attending Georgie's wedding an unnecessary distraction. Imagine a scene where Mary Cooper calls Sheldon, excitedly telling him about Georgie's wedding. Sheldon, in his usual dismissive way, responds, "Mary, Shelley, your brother's getting married. You need to come home for the wedding." Sheldon, "Mother, surely you understand that my work on quantum field theory is far more significant than a social ritual designed to formalize an already established relationship." Mary, Sheldon Lee Cooper, "You are coming home, or so help me." Sheldon, "I'll send a card." Scenario 2. Sheldon attends, but is a nuisance. If Sheldon did attend, it's likely he didn't enjoy it. Weddings are full of social interactions, loud music and emotions, things Sheldon is not particularly fond of. Picture Sheldon sitting at a table at the reception, refusing to dance, criticizing the wedding menu, and engaging in an overly detailed discussion about the mathematical probability of marriage success. Georgie, "Sheldon, you having fun?" Sheldon, "Fun no, however, I am engaged in an interesting statistical analysis of why 50% of marriages end in divorce. Would you like to see my findings?" Mandy, "Please don't." Scenario 3. Sheldon finds out about the wedding too late. Given Sheldon's history of being oblivious to major family events, it's entirely possible that he wasn't even aware of Georgie's wedding until after the fact. Maybe no one bothered to tell him because they knew he wouldn't come, or perhaps he simply didn't register the information. Imagine a scene where Sheldon, years later, is talking to Georgie. Sheldon: "Wait, you're married." Georgie: "Yeah, for years now, buddy." Sheldon: "Fascinating, I don't recall receiving an invitation." Georgie: "We sent one." Sheldon: "Oh, I must have been busy, what a relief, weddings are tedious." Scenario 4. Sheldon joins via video call. If the wedding happened during the early 2000s, video calls were not as common as they are today. However, given Sheldon's intellect and access to technology, it's possible he arranged to attend virtually. Imagine him on a grainy video call, awkwardly giving a toast. Sheldon, on screen: "Georgie, statistically speaking, your odds of a successful marriage are lower than you think, however. I suppose congratulations are in order. Enjoy your honeymoon, assuming you are taking one, though I must point out that historically honeymoons were." A connection lost. The emotional side: did Sheldon care? Despite Sheldon's cold logic and sometimes insensitive nature, he does care about his family deep down. He has moments where he expresses love, even if awkwardly. However, his emotional detachment often prevents him from fully participating in family events. It's likely that Sheldon respected Georgie's decision to marry, but saw no reason to celebrate it in the conventional way. Perhaps, in his own unique Sheldon way, he sent a gift, something utterly impractical, like a book on physics or a framed equation about the dynamics of relationships. Final thoughts: Sheldon's role in Georgie and Mandy's marriage. Ultimately, Sheldon's absence or minimal presence during Georgie and Mandy's first marriage makes perfect sense within the context of his character. Whether he skipped the wedding for research, attended but remained aloof, or didn't find out until much later, his reaction would have been classic Sheldon: logical, detached, and unintentionally humorous. While Georgie and Mandy were embarking on their new life together, Sheldon was likely buried in his world of theoretical physics, blissfully unaware that he had once again missed an important family moment. And if he was aware, well, in his mind, science was always the bigger priority.